Hi guys, we're on.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, hi.
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 This is the Parable Penguins, and I'm your host for today, Boss. Yay. It's so awkward,
Yo.
but yeah, today I have with me is Adele and Shan. Yay,
Hi.
yay. So loud. I put a busy volume. It's softer. Let's go. Begin the game. The main point is as
And
long as
it's
you guys.
never the end.
Yeah, and it's never the end. And it's never the end.
This game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
You just listen. Can you hear?
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay, you guys can you hear?
Employee number 427's
Yeah.
job
Yeah, I can.
was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Oh shit, I
This
just
is
realized
what
I never changed the
employee
stream title.
427
Yeah.
I can't hear.
Oh no, wait, 说什么？I need to change the stream title for a while.
Stanley, something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, give me a moment. I change the thing first.
No. Then let me some EXP.
Okay, I change. 搞定 done.
Why me not responding?
Okay, so you all step out of office.
Go. Do myself.
All of his
Wait, are you
clothes
moving,
were
boss?
gone. What
Yeah,
did
I'm
it
moving.
mean?
Oh.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So what the point of this game is, right? You can either follow instructions or you can just defy instructions and do whatever
Yes,
you want.
screw the instructions. Just explore. Find the toilet. Where's the toilet?
Just the
You
toilet.
know what? Let's go to the toilet.
Yeah, I think I
You
can.
can't go wrong with the toilet.
No,
Hey, you can't go back.
Yeah, you can't go back. This one, if you stay long enough inside inside your room and refuse to go out, then everything will say something.
Is this like some horror game where you're locked out of your room?
No, it's not.
Okay, find the toilet. Where's the toilet?
There's no toilet, I think.
What kind of company is this? There's no toilet. How do you work here?
Oh. I go in front.
Go find the toilet. If you
When
can find the
Stanley
toilet.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You wanna go left or right?
Let's go right. Let's go right.
This was not the
Screw the
correct way
narrator.
to the meeting room, and Stanley knew
Screw
it
you.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to
Screw you,
stop by the
narrator.
employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh, drinks.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Where do you come from?
Don't go back.
Oh wow. What kind of horror game is this? It knock you out.
Really, really worth it being here in the room. A room
It's
so
not horror game,
utterly
it's not horror game.
captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Just listen to the narrator. It's interaction between you and the narrator, basically.
At this
Mhm.
point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Are we gonna stay here?
I don't know, let's just stay here.
So what you want to do?
Stanley sat around waiting for more
I want to
dialogue.
explore.
When a long time had
Okay, go
passed and
explore.
there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
You wanna go explore? Shan says you wanna explore. Yeah, just go.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
You wanna go front or left?
Toilet?
There's no toilet. You wanna go in front or
I-
you wanna go to the left?
Why does the left look so
Dark.
Which one
so
you wanna
dark?
go?
So
Are you sure this is not horror?
It's not horror, it's not horror. I played the entire game, no worries. Which one you wanna go? Front or left?
Shan, you choose.
Yes, you can go left.
And so he
Follow the
detoured through the
instructions.
maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got
What's
back on
that?
track.
No, let's go to the lift.
Yeah, go to the
Yeah, let's go to the lift. Oh. Loading.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
dark.
from here, it's, left. Oh, no.
Going left?
No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's
one of the
clearly...
endings already, I
Oh
think.
dear, would you hold on?
Going to one of the
please?
endings. Go.
Oh,
There's a bunch of endings in this game.
Now,
Depending
let's
on your
see, we
choices.
went down right, left, down,
So,
left,
just here.
right. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Does it look like he's gonna run you over? Where's the lights? Oh god.
it's so creepy.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
End is never the end, is never the
Yes.
end.
So do you wanna go forward or you wanna stay in the room? You can stay in the room actually. Can you? No.
Yeah, let's get out.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, you know what? Let's just follow the instructions this time. Okay, Shan?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wanna see what it does.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely
You haven't
fresh.
end yet.
Everything should be...
Oh,
Oh, did something change? Stanley,
It's
Did
not-
you change anything when we were back in that room with all the
not the
monitors?
end yet.
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Which one you want to go? There's a lot of doors here.
Chair. Go the one in the chair. The chair blocking the way. Go.
You can't jump in this game.
Scam. Why is Stanley so weak?
There's an ending though. Like it says you can't jump.
Jump there.
Which one you want to go?
Chan, you choose.
Where I choose.
I also don't know.
Both you
Say
get
what?
this ending before.
Yeah. I
I'll
got.
say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh wow, we took too long that. Casey started myself.
Yeah, let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wow.
Okay, yep, it's worked. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
There's coffee spilled on the floor.
Where?
Just now. Hey, why do you care about coffee?
Ow, I'm bored.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This is so confusing. Whoa.
What?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you
Go
didn't
back.
put in any actual
I go
work
back.
for that win. Some people win
You gotta
fair
go
and
where you
square,
are.
and this
No,
was
I
not one of
can't.
those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
And it's never the end, is it?
Oh, what's this?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
You want to follow the line?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just follow.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, they're loud. Very loud.
It's not that loud.
music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it
Mr.
carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Mr. Fern. Mr. Fern. Mr. Fern.
I don't understand, but okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after through you, oh,
You put a bit
Oh, it's lagging.
bit too loud for me. Back to the adventure line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we
No.
make up our own story?
No, what do
Something
you mean?
exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
It's a circle.
Go wild. Use your imagination.
Did you realize?
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Line's going psycho here.
Oh, it went up.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this?
Yeah.
The confusion ending. You're
So
telling
this
me
is the confusion.
that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times?
Took a long time Stanley
That's
died.
really how
Wow.
all this goes? It's all determined?
And he attempts to review.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't
So
you
how is it
agree?
so far?
I'm not quite
Boring.
sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
I feel
So
a bit
that's
boring.
where we are right now.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
find
a
out,
very
won't we?
boring game for
Eventually.
very bored people.
Well, in the
It's like
meantime,
It's
Oh.
more like it's a game where you can find out like a lot of narration. You can actually it's
Oh,
like
different.
it's like an interaction between the narrator and you. So what you do.
all of his
affects
co-workers were
the
gone.
narrator's
What could it
decision.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Yeah, I
Perhaps he had
suppose so.
simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Here. Yeah, that was.
Can you interact with the stuff?
There's no stuff here.
Like the phone? Cannot.
No, it can't. You can interact with doors, some doors. I think it's like this one. And what are they? Oh no. Oh, this one.
You can open doors.
Some doors. Like the doors, but not here. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can get up there, right?
Oh my god, making me dizzy.
How do I do this? I forgot how you can get up there.
So you can
Jurisdiction. Oh, yeah, I got it.
tough. Oh, why though?
No, you can actually do this.
Oh,
Oh? Whoa.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No, yes. No.
Then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
So basically, we're stuck until I restart the game.
Oh.
can it?
You guys gonna begin the game again?
Yeah.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long
Right.
enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end.
Because I can't really hear it.
Closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What?
Hmm?
What?
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. Oh. Oh. Everything's empty now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know this ending actually. I never tried. I can't remember. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Unfollow?
So, you see,
This
you
was
can
not
do
the
it
correct
right
way to
side,
the
right?
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh wait, oh shit, I did the wrong ending. I did the wrong one. Oops. Okay, never mind. We are in meeting room now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
I did the wrong-
disbelief,
I did the
Stanley
wrong step.
decided to
Oh,
go
shit.
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, never mind. You want to follow the story?
Oh yeah, sure. That you're already doing this. Oh,
You want to stay inside?
yeah, let's go inside.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
First you stay here.
I'm not sure. How long can you stay here?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Plenty of reasons to leave.
It
You
was
see that weird
baffling that
thick-looking
Stanley
thing?
was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Is it a toilet
He wasn't
paper?
even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Why are we in the blue closet, guys? Why?
I know.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd
Unless
said
you stay long
Stanley walked past the broom
not sure,
closet,
actually.
at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out.
You guys want to talk
But it
about
didn't even
something so
occur
that
to
we
me
don't
because
get
literally
completely bored.
this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
You want to continue?
Oh,
Maybe to you this is somehow its own
She
branch
abandoned us
path.
for Maple.
Maybe when you go talk
Yeah.
about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
How long do we stay
Stanley
here?
was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Well, I
That or with
stopping the
drug
shit out of
money.
you now.
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
So
So
just
Well,
dead
in a
now.
situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer. making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay, I think that's the end already.
Okay, wait a bit longer. 60.
Yeah, no, that's the end. I can't remember. But I know once we get out, we can't come in. He'll lock the room.
Okay, you don't say anything. Just get out. Just get out. Not saying anything anymore.
Second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
You know what? Let's just go. Let's just go. Why? Why? Oh, okay, good. Stick it open.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, what a fancy office.
Fancy!
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is not how boss's office works.
But it's fancy, you know?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, this is what he was going to do instead.
Nice number.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Any number?
Shan, what you want?
I think Shan just gave up already.
2845.
No, let's just go with it.
Wait, are you keying in the numbers or is it?
Me.
Oh.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well,
Wow.
what did he do?
They just gave up on you. Oh, like so please you kidnap
Like so weird here.
You kidnap people in here.
So weird here.
So creepy though, oh my god.
No.
Kidnap people here.
So creepy.
Loading, 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 loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Looks so creepy.
I think we should.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, we can escape.
Don't want to go here or there?
What do you want?
I
Let's
think,
What? What you see?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
And let's go.
continue forward.
Let's go.
I actually
At
don't
this
know what's
point,
inside.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Does he die?
I actually don't know what's inside. I think he just dies.
Oh, he just
Oh,
Yeah, I think he just
Oh.
dies. I
As
actually
the
never
machine
been
whirred
here.
into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned
Bye,
and
guys.
willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Sayonara.
oh,
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh, what?
What's that?
That's Stanley
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What's this?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life
Oh,
the same.
this
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
It's all the endings, I think. Like the behind the
Oh.
scenes. I'm not sure. Never been here. Okay, I never been here. Oh well. Wow. Yeah, I think it's all just behind the scenes stuff. You want me to restart?
I guess
Yeah, I can. That's it.
I actually need to go now.
No.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they
Bye.
both
Good night.
wish to be free.
Bye bye.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
How is this very boring game for very bored people?
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
Oh, wait, what?
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
Well, we
Yeah.
just died. So what happened? Oh. So restart?
What happens if we just?
I don't know. Nothing,
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know if. Okay, then just restart. Can we go to the mind control place?
No, my control system. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
All of his co-workers
So
were
still
gone.
stuck here.
What could it mean?
Well,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had seen. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Mind-
he entered the
I want
door on
mind
his
control.
left.
mind control.
I skipped through
Yet
everything.
there was not a single person
just
here
not-
either. Feeling a
to
wave
stay
of disbelief,
in the room
Stanley
closet.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
way.
answer there. Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Yeah. Let me just wait a bit.
In the broom closet.
Where's the broom? There's no broom.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a broom or what?
what kind of broom closet is this with only one broom?
I'll open it. Nothing.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's
2548,
desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind
845.
paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
It's calming for you.
No! Let me go! Let me go! Let me go! Let me in!
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Let me in!
The mind control one.
Yeah, let's go mind control.
So there's a reason why this is like $5. And only $5. That's a very good reason why. I think the most creepy ending I got was like,
Stanley walked
the
straight
usual
ahead through the
ending.
large door that read Mind Control
let's try.
Facility.
I don't like the usual endings, right?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
Maybe it's the
screens.
spoiler
What
room.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
You know, technically Stanley is just like an office worker.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Which one?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yeah.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Well,
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
just boom. Oh, that's the end. Oh, wait, shit. What did I do?
You're stuck.
Yeah. surely. I don't think anything happens.
Then just restart.
No. Oh,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
no,
mean?
that's the main story. Yeah.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The off button.
Up to you.
Are you bored?
Yes. You say this is for bored people.
Yes. Yeah.
Just go see.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah. It's very bored. It's just
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It's good. Oh, wait, yeah, it's okay. Wait, it's not.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
It's over. Yeah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, what's this?
Don't go.
See.
Okay, do
Let's
this.
go.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is
Yeah.
important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red door.
Yeah.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, blue or red. Look at all the arrows, man.
No.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to
That's the
find
one I
out what
wanna know.
lies at the end of this road you've chosen?
Just-
Well, don't let
you guys
me
just
stop
point
you.
Everything there.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Can
Was
you
it
go
worth
back?
ruining the entire story I had written out
so.
specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
You can.
And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted
Am I
to
very
see.
soft?
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before.
let's go.
Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Yeah, that's the option.
Yeah, go. It looks special. Special.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Let's put 1.
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh.
It's nothing though. Wow.
So the bot people.
This one.
Oh. That one. Special door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
One. One all the way.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh, what?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
But
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Have you played this before? Oh.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then...
Have you done this before?
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes,
wow.
It's complete.
Wait, are you talking about the house?
I made this,
house?
Stanley. Look at it.
Like this?
Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your
ending
own
also.
inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the
I
outside.
don't think
You've only
so.
gotten
I'm
half the
not sure.
experience.
It
Please,
could be like
step
3 hours
inside
later.
and make yourself comfortable.
Go in.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if...
Nice.
Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
I can play Minecraft. You still can't jump though.
Yeah, I can join.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
I think you just died.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
No! I thought Minecraft. Why you changed? Oh, where are we now? Hi, Sam.
Yes!
Hello.
I don't even know what this game is, but I
Oh my god,
love
wait. Let me
You know this game?
change your volume. I changed your volume. Okay.
Wait, was I too loud?
I couldn't have done it any...
No, because
My stream's off.
The stream
Word
is
out.
too soft, so I...
Okay, now I'm curious.
Oh my god, wait!
Let's go find
Finally have a
what the hell
toilet.
this is.
Yes, we have a toilet.
Oh my god!
You know this game?
What's this? Oh my god,
This,
this is creepy.
this is Potter. If it
Oh.
is Potter. No, but
Oh, no
I'm
wonder
playing,
it look familiar.
I'm playing Stanley Parables. I'm not playing Potter, but it's
Just...
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking,
I Potter though, actually,
Stanley.
if you guys want
Your
to.
forte.
I played before. Played it before.
Genius.
Uh,
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue...
what is this?
I have no idea.
Why is Edo screaming? Why is it so dark? Will something pop out?
It's not horror.
That's not
Okay.
horror. It's like a story time game.
Very weird. Sorry, eh?
Oh, what?
Too many corridors. Hold on.
I've never been here already, so I have actually no idea what it's like. I never see this part of the game.
Why so many corridors? Are you going in circle?
No, do you want to restart?
Oh, there's light. Oh, light. Yeah, so you want Genshin?
Yeah, I'm going on Genshin already.
This is...
Finish my keyboard first.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
I'll go in.
Go inside the monitor room.
You can't go in.
Cannot.
Oh, there's no door.
Wow, I have very headaches.
Yeah, I also hate it here.
I said I headaches before I joined the call already.
Oh, wait, what?
I'm
I
very
wonder
tired.
what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Hey, why is
And
it
if
so
he's
dark?
learned the heavy cost
know.
that comes with
I
it.
can't control anymore.
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who
Why
I am.
narrator talk so long?
That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Where's the
Where is that?
I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Oh. It loads on its own.
Oh, I think one to...
I'm not sure. Actually, I think...
No,
All
no.
his co-workers
Show
were
me
gone.
the
What could
big
it
bright
mean?
arrow.
Stanley
all
decided to
those
go to the
arrows.
meeting room.
Okay.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah. Happens if you go through the arrows.
Okay, let's just...
Still watching.
Yeah, I'm watching.
When Stanley
Go.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hey, wrong way, right? You need left, right? Yeah, wait.
Right.
Right,
I
yeah.
think it's right.
Yeah, right.
This is only so dark.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley, for the first but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
It's like, go straight, right?
I go straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5
Oh no,
years ago.
there's one ending, right? Okay, yeah. Wait, I can get on the elevator and get out. That is...
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best
Are you
either
jumping
get
down?
comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Did you just die?
Yeah, we just died.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
可以学玩 game。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Auntie.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
I'll show you something.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha! Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
I mean, like, wait, what? Right? Just now we went through the blue door.
Yeah, you went blue. Go red.
Look at all the arrows though. Look at the shining arrow. Just like this.
The light.
This is the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
What's this?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
What's this?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Go on.
You get out.
Get out.
Let's go.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Wait. Where are you going?
Wow.
Right. Where were we?
Go on.
Yeah, I think it's an insanity ending. I'm not sure.
Oh,
What's insanity?
Crazy ending. I can't really remember.
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs.
it's
If you
another
hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
So, this ending.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Let's not open the door. So the only way you can do this is to.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
You never die, me?
No, but this.
Stanley,
you
go
can
back.
actually
There's
die.
nothing good that can come from this.
So you have to keep doing it.
Yeah, you have to keep doing it
No.
until you die.
No, what do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Yeah.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
It's also sad.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to
Ready
ask.
to go back?
It looks
No.
like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one
More
is yours.
time.
This is the last time already. No
Really?
choice, ah? Yeah.
We go back and see. What do they have in the room?
I'm not sure.
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Oh, it's not.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still
There's
thought
nothing
that was
much. Go kill
possible.
yourself.
Kill myself now.
By then, so you need us come.
Can wait.
Let me just watch her suicide first.
Wow, but you just want to
Yeah, I need this.
kill Stanley. Yeah, this is the last time already.
Is it
yeah.
over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Okay, so we go over.
Suicide.
Oh my god, so much.
I think that's all the good endings. The rest of the endings are very like sanity ending or I can't remember.
Insanity ending.
I don't like the ending. It's very creepy, so it's not my thing.
So then let's go.
Yeah, I don't know how to get it actually. I got it once by luck. My first ending. That was not fun. Wait, let me Google how it's ending.
You win.
The insane ending.
I'm sleepy. I woke up 5 and 6 today.
Oh, instead of going up the staircase, you have to go down the staircase. You want the insane ending? I very pretty though.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Hey, enter your favorite room closet.
I can't let us in.
Insane ending.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I don't like Sarah. Wait, I really don't like it. I black out the headlights.
Wait, this is scary.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, Why had he taken that risk?
Basically, he's
All
going
because
around,
he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Okay, just
For
now could you
example,
guys hear echo?
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Can
Why did doors
What's
close
going on,
automatically behind him?
I can hear it because you plug it out and
For
put it on
that
speaker.
matter, these
Yeah,
rooms
I
were
got
starting to
it.
look pretty familiar. Were
It's
they
very
simply
loud, eh?
repeating?
Whoops.
No, Stanley
Oh, shit,
said to
it's a
himself,
stream, though.
this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he
very
came to the
round and round,
conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
Basically, it's
I'm
very simple.
dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief
This is the
Stanley
insane
felt
ending.
to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well
half-life.
enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star
I don't
field,
get it.
and it too appeared. It was so
Basically, he's
much
doing
fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now
Basically, you just go
as he's
around,
ever
and
been in
go
his
around.
life.
It's very fun.
Now, hearing
What?
the voice speak these words was quite a shock to
If you want me to
Stanley.
continue walking again,
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my
this is how
job.
he went insane.
Let me continue pushing the buttons.
no.
Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment
It's
and
called
my
the
wife
Mariella
and my
ending,
job.
apparently.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No, it's not. This is saying.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Basically, this is the insane ending.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Yep, that's the insane ending.
Not as bad as I thought. It's like,
Because, like, imagine that was your first ending, though. Oh my god. Get creeped out for this game. Yeah, I don't think there's any more endings. So let me go. We need the. We need the
好
proof.
像看这里了，
There's a freedom ending 了。
看更新了。
Wait, can I do my fishing quest if you are in my world?
You're doing the event?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay. Did we do the heaven ending?
Event.
Oh, this sounds like a pain in the ears. There's a heaven ending. Powerful. Oh, okay. Powerful ending. Oh, shoot.
What ending?
I'm still very confused. I'm like reading through all the endings. There's a phone ending. Yeah, I don't even know what phone ending is. Okay, what? I guess that's it all. I'm very lazy playing. So boring game.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Any other
What
game
could
you
it
all
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, I guess this is it for today lah. It's 12:30. I didn't realize. Wait, how the hell did I even get up just now? Oh, I got up. And how the hell did I even get up? Yeah, okay. What to do? Okay. I guess this is it for today lah. For this game at least. I'm bored of the game.
It's boring.
Yeah, it's for bored people, man.
But it's making like the bored people more bored.
It's supposed to be a game where you make choices to like it's like basically to see the interaction between you and the narrator. It's just supposed to be like very it's like a story time now. Like you know, in the fourth wall, that kind of thing.
It's boring though.
It's okay lah if you play yourself. It's pretty interesting actually. I thought lah when I first played. Quite interesting. in my opinion. Yeah, y'all next time y'all go find games lah. Then you'll see what games y'all play. Then
And to sleep.
I'll see the price before I buy it. Anyways, guys, that whoever watched this, yeah, thank you for watching, and
Bye.
hope to see you again, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.